I are so thrilled that we can finally celebrate this victory, and I am so excited to finally be able to get to work for the people of Minnesota. I received a very gracious call from Senator Coleman a little while ago. He wished me well, I wished him well, and we agreed that it is time to bring this state together.
Whoopee! Well, after nearly 8 months, it is finally over. Al Franken has gone to Washington. In a unanimous decision, the Minnesota Supreme Court declared former comedian, author, and talk show host Al Franken the new senator of Minnesota. No one's been following this story more closely than our next guest. Jason Barnett is the executive director of the Uptake, an online site dedicated to advancing democracy through citizen journalism, and that's just what they've done in this case. Now, I should say no one's been following it more closely until yesterday, when you all were sort of exiled to the yard next door behind Norm Coleman's house when he was giving his concession speech. Right. What happened?
You know, they made the announcement that they're going to make a statement at his house, so we, of course, send our correspondents over there, and we're setting up the tripod, and one of their staffers comes over and says, "You're not welcome here." And we're like, we've part of the Capitol Press Corps in Minnesota. You know, these are our official badges that the state capitol hands out, and they're like, "Sorry, you got to leave."
Well, but like good indie media folks, you go right back, knock on the door next door, and that's that footage from over the fence.
Yep. And so we go next door, and we say, "Can we stand in your yard?" And they say, "Yeah." So we film from there. We don't have very good audio, but you know, we got what we could.
Now, tell us a little bit. How the heck did an upstart uptake group like yours get to be part of the Capitol Press Corps in your hometown?
Well, it took a lot of work. You know, we've been around for about 2 years doing a lot of video-based online media, and we're a citizen journalism organization, so we train citizens to produce their own news stories. We have an editorial board, and so we've been raising our level of credibility over the last year. People saying these guys do some pretty good work, and so we've been trying to access the Capitol. And after a number of months of talking with them, they credential us for being a legitimate part of the press. And so, yeah, we've been covering lots of stuff. And so we were live streaming the legislature in Minnesota and then this trial.
Well, this trial has certainly brought the Uptake to a lot of people's attention, and we've broadcast clips of your coverage throughout. What you can't necessarily absorb from the coverage is just how the Uptake is using its footage and its site to create community and, well, to do a whole lot more. Tell us a little bit about some of the innovations that you've come up with during this 8 months when you have plenty of time to practice.
Well, one, just being able to get a video camera in a courtroom. That's been new in Minnesota, and they were nervous about doing it. They were very excited that we are willing to stream the entire thing, rather than just use clips out of the day. So right up front, they were pretty interested to have us part of it.
They being the court?
The courts, yeah, the Minnesota courts. And so they were nervous, because they should be. But they were really happy with the product.
Which is interesting, because this whole idea of cameras in the courtroom has been a bugaboo all across the country. Yeah. What were they surprised? What did they think was going to happen?
Well, they're really worried about like the nightly news finding the 30-second most salacious clip of anything that might happen and then put it in there, and they think that makes the court system look bad, because like only the crazy stuff happens in courts, because that's the only thing the news will run with. And so they were just really nervous about having that as the only takeout.
So when you said you were going to stream the whole thing,
man, this is going to be streamed completely, open. And we said we do it in a number of different ways. So we have the video going that anyone can watch without commenting on. So it's like there's nothing but what's happening. And then we also have a live chat that you can open up, but it's a separate tool. And then people can discuss what's happening on there, and it's moderated, so it's not crazy. And so we had like law schools around the country, lawyers around the country commenting on what's happening during the whole thing.
What were the high point? What were the highest moments or the most memorable moments in this Franken-Coleman dispute?
The highest traffic we had was when it was before the trial started, and it was during the recount when they were counting ballots. And so we had between 20 and 30,000 people on our live blog commenting, that day. And so this is from all over the world, people from many different countries, all over the United States, just really interested in this trial. And the traffic on the video too was just insane. It was just really, really big, and people were embedding the player all over the place. And so it was really living in more places than just our website, which is one of our intents.
What do you all do now? What's going to be your focus?
I'm writing a lot of plans, and we're trying to develop a lot of relationships. And so we're going to be continuing our coverage in Minnesota on local politics and other things. And in the middle of this recount trial, we were also live streaming the local legislature. So, open house hearings and open committee hearings, we were streaming them live and doing the same sort of commentary with live chats and working in Twitter and all these things and making it really open and engaging and interactive. We were interested in talking to other states who are interested in doing the same sort of thing, and we can come in and just plug into the cameras into other state houses and state senate and do the same sort of thing. We're interested in opening up a DC operation so we can get some national coverage and things like that.
Now, you were the third, not the first, to tweet the Supreme Court verdict. How did that happen?
Well, we want to make sure we get it right. So very often the first tweet is not always the most accurate.
Let's play the Norm Coleman aforementioned concession speech. Take a look.
Ours is a government of laws, not men and women. The Supreme Court of Minnesota has spoken. I respect its decision, and I will abide by its result. It's time for Minnesotans to come together under the leaders it has chosen and move forward. And I join all Minnesotans in congratulating our newest United States Senator, Al Franken.
Now, coming back to the substance of this story for a minute, Jason, Norm Coleman's actually gotten a bunch of credit for not taking his appeal any further. Do you give him credit?
I think that he had full intention of taking this further, but he's had every ruling has been unanimous against him. And taking this to the Supreme Court of the United States would be pretty much a guaranteed loss.
Now, this was, I think, the most expensive race ever.
Yeah, this is the most expensive U.S. Senate race in history.
And that money has been spent in a challenge that, to many, always looked like simply an attempt to try to keep the Democratic majority as small as possible for as long as possible. Close up, did it really look that way? Do you think it was as cynical as that, or were there really contentious questions about the count?
I think the evidence of that is last month, like the last 30 to 35 days, Norm Coleman raised about $900,000. And this is, after the trial is over, after the Supreme Court they're deliberating. So there's nothing they can do. Nothing they can do. They raised almost $1 million. And so you have to wonder why they're pushing that sort of fundraising campaign if there's nothing they can do. And, so it seems like they're raising money to continue on, to keep pushing the system back. But, I don't know what Norm is thinking,
Now, going back to Minnesotans again and their new senator, Al Franken, a lot of people around the country are looking for him to be a vote that will enable the Democrats to really advance some strong, progressive national legislation. He keeps saying he's going to be there representing Minnesotans. Yep. Is there a conflict?
I don't think so. Minnesota is a pretty progressive state. There's a very strong independent nature of Minnesota, which some people don't fully understand, even many Minnesotans. But I think he's going to be. What I was saying this to someone earlier today is, if Franken would have won this hands out, he would have probably been a different type of senator than he is now.
Meaning?
Because he's gone through this really, really high-focused, high-energy, very, very scrutinizing process in the last 8 months, and with this trial and everything. And so, him coming to Washington is a bigger deal than it would have been if he would have won hands out. And so I think he's going to be more careful. I think he's going to be more careful because of it, and about what he does and how bold he is on different initiatives. And I think he's going to be an advocate for health care. I think he's really, clear on that. He's going to be very strong on health care. But I don't know how he's going to be on many of the other issues yet. I think that's really an open question.
And the Uptake comes out stronger, better known.
Yeah, we love it, right? Yeah, the whole thing.
You have to say you're only going to get praise from me. You helped us pulled together some extraordinary coverage over the last year that we've known each other, and you helped us produce that Live from Main Street Town Hall in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, about a year ago. So I think you do great work, and you're a wonderful model of new media that's having impact.
We're happy to work with you.
Uptake, everybody. There'll be a documentary coming out of all of the coverage that the Uptake's been putting together. We've been playing segments here at GRITtv. We will play more when it's done. Let us know when we can finally announce the final product.
All right, we're working on it right now.
All right, Jason Barnett, thank you so much for joining us. Executive Director of the Uptake. You can find the Uptake at theuptake.org. Check them out.